behind the happy church tunes and powerful voice was a man who couldn't speak because of what he was about to say. Someone who used to be in the choir just came forward with shocking claims about a cover-up that is so deep it could shake the church world to its core. Hold on, because what I'm about to say could change the way you remember this gospel story. Bishop Rance Allen did a lot more than sing church music. His voice was strong, full of love, and full of praise. He had an impact on music that went far beyond the church. He was known for mixing traditional gospel with soul and R&B. Fans all over the world were sad about his death in 2020, but not everyone believed the official story. A scary claim that Bishop Allen's death may have been faked was made public by a former choir member. You did hear that right. It wasn't. You might not believe that Bishop Rance Allen died the way you thought you did. That bet normal or random, and it might have been planned to keep him quiet. What are they being quiet about, you ask? There have been claims of shady business dealings, hidden gospel label plans, and powerful preachers controlling the story from behind the scenes. We're going to look into these shocking claims in today's show. Hear what this choir member says really happened, how people who work in the gospel industry responded behind the scenes, and the surprising link to dark money in the gospel business. You won't believe who is being blamed and what they are said to have done to keep their secrets safe. Now things start to get interesting. Get a cup of tea, relax, and make sure you stay until the end, because we're breaking down every turn in the spiritual scandal that everyone is talking about. Gospel people were shocked when they heard on October 31, 2020, that Bishop Rance Allen had died. Official reports say he died at the age of 71 from problems that came up after a medical treatment. Lots of tributes came in. Well-known people like Kirk Franklin and Donnie McClurkin showed their respect. But something didn't seem right in the middle of the morning. Not for everyone near the scene, anyway. There were rumors going on behind closed doors. Some people said Rance looked good a few days ago. He felt good. Some people said he was still speaking and singing. Fans even noticed that there wasn't a lot of information about what really happened. The public did not get any pictures or a full medical report, and no funeral was open to the public. That's when things really changed. There was a Facebook Live from a woman who said she used to be in the choir and was spiritually related to Bishop Rance Allen. The video has since been pulled. Her voice was shaking, but what she said was very powerful. Pope Rance didn't just paw. Some ministers were so involved with these labels that they didn't even know it. They sent tithes and donations to production companies and paid artists very little. The choir member said, Bishop Allen found out that a number of gospel stars, some of whom are still active today, were being emotionally scammed and were being forced to play along or lose everything. She said that he was sick of seeing holy people who were broke and sick of seeing talented artists sell their souls to stay important in a system that didn't even honor God anymore. Let's be honest. We've heard rumors before saying that gospel acts are being shut down and that deals are made behind the scenes at praise concerts that have nothing to do with worship. However, this source says Bishop Allen had papers, emails, and money records. He was putting together proof that some preachers were meddling with money and music, and that these pastors were connected to shady investors with selfish goals. One name that kept coming up in fan forums? A certain megachurch leader has been seen working with both religious groups and secular groups. Someone who used to be on good terms with Rance stopped asking him to perform after 2018. In the same year, Bishop Allen is said to have told friends that he felt like he had to shut up or be shut down. Through 2019, he had cut down on public appearances and tours, and the only way he spoke was through short video streams from church. Now some people say he was scared physically as well as mentally. This is where the temperature really starts to rise. The choir member said that Bishop Allen had set up a secret Zoom meeting with 2 reporters and a gospel label whistleblower right before he died. That meeting did not happen. And why not? Bishop Allen was taken to the hospital the day before the meeting for what they said was a normal heart treatment. He didn't show up. When you think that was the darkest part of the rabbit hole, Section 3 shows something even scarier: the supposed funeral cover-up, and what happened to all of Bishop Rance Allen's unpublished work. Many people look forward to a proper farewell when a well-known and liked person dies, like Bishop Rance Allen. What they got instead, though, was a rushed, restricted, and tightly controlled farewell that didn't answer many questions. It was said that COVID-19 rules meant that the funeral service in his city of Toledo, Ohio, could only be seen online. But even the most dedicated fans saw right away that the stream looked staged and edited. There was no coffin shown, no wide shots of the body, and no live chat with fans who were upset. It was just a highly edited ceremony, with pre-recorded video and speeches that were cut short. Even stranger, the replay of the live show, which many fans had saved or shared, was taken down more than once. It looked like everyone, even his family, was stressed out. The most disturbing thing is that Bishop Rance Allen's personal files, music collections, and final sermons have not been found since he died. Someone who knew him said that he never let his laptop leave his sight. Voice notes, outlines of his expose, unreleased gospel collaborations, and direct audio messages for people he trusted were said to be on that laptop. Gone is that laptop. The choir member said that his house was cleaned out within 48 hours of his death, but not by his family. Instead, it was done by church-hired workers who said they were doing it for the ministry. Close friends asked where his lecture notes and music drives were, and were told that everything was safe, but nothing had been let out. There isn't a single lecture or unreleased track. An independent gospel blogger from Atlanta who started posting videos looking into the Rance Allen issue had their channel demonetized and then deleted without giving a reason. This is even scarier. That writer said they had talked to someone who saw Rance's files and was going to release them without giving their name. Before they were shut down, the last thing they said in a film was that they don't want the truth to get out because it would shake the whole gospel. These are not just random events. These look like designs. A tightly controlled funeral, media that isn't there anymore, opinions that aren't heard, and more people who used to be quiet starting to speak up. But in the fourth part, we look at the biggest surprise of all. A voicemail Bishop Rance Allen is said to have sent to a close friend just 2 days before he died that has not been made public. Let's just say that the message will give you chills. It looked like the story couldn't get any stranger until a voicemail showed up. Many people think it was never meant to be made public. A member of the Insider Choir said that Bishop Rance Allen sent this message to a longtime friend and fellow gospel singer just 2 days before he died. The friend, who has chosen to remain anonymous for safety reasons, is said to have shared this voicemail secretly with 2G. These insiders then shared parts of the voicemail in a closed Telegram group. A transcribed piece of the recording has been passed around the gospel community, but the full tape has never been proven to be real. Bishop Allen's voice sounds very tired in the message. Not weak, but carrying a lot. His words are slow, thought out, and full of warnings. This is what the text is said to have said. They think I'm blind to what's going on, but I can see it. I see the snakes. Behind choruses and fake praise, I can see the people in robes. I have names and proof, and I'm not scared. But please, don't let anything bad happen to me for nothing. Don't let them write how my story ends. After the sound fades, there is a pause, and then one last scary line. God will clean the church if it doesn't do it itself. People who heard the short clip said it was unshakable. When the friend tried to put it online, the tape went away within hours because it violated privacy and copyright laws. Some people think that there are strong groups with legal authority that watch over gospel media, working extra hours to hide this message. But the effects are very strong, even without the whole audio. It's possible that Rance Allen's death wasn't as peaceful as his fans were led to believe. He may have been collecting evidence, calling out people, and speaking out against corruption in the very industry that helped him get to where he was. Even more striking is the fact that many artists who used to publicly support Rance have stopped talking about it. Artists who have worked with him before. I have proof, and I'm not scared. But please, don't let anything bad happen to me for nothing. Don't let them write how my story ends. After the sound fades, there is a pause, and then one last scary line. God will clean the church if it doesn't do it itself. People who heard the short clip said it was unshakable. When the friend tried to put it online, the tape went away within hours because it violated privacy and copyright laws. Some people think that there are strong groups with legal authority that watch over gospel media, working extra hours to hide this message. But the effects are very strong, even without the whole audio. It's possible that Rance Allen's death wasn't as peaceful as his fans were led to believe. He may have been collecting evidence, calling out people, and speaking out against corruption in the very industry that helped him get to where he was. Even more striking is the fact that many artists who used to publicly support Rance have stopped talking about it. Artists who used to work with him, praise him, and talk about his impact have avoided talking about the last few months of his life. His name keeps coming up less and less in gospel talks and interviews, as if it were quietly added back in. Is this because of guilt, fear, or something more planned? A few brave gospel vloggers who work on their own have kept pushing the problem. Some people even thought Allen's last message might have been a hint at a secret partnership. There is still a small group of church leaders working behind the scenes to change the business from the inside. This might explain why that message was only accessible to certain people, and why it hasn't been taken down for everyone. However, when Bishop Rance Allen died suddenly, and rumors of foul play began to spread, fans were waiting for a reaction, a statement, a denial, or something. But then there was a deafening quiet. There will be no more probes and no open memorials, and not much was said about the problems that surrounded his death. In fact, some religious networks didn't seem to talk about it at all. Gospel radio stations that used to play Allen's music all the time quietly took it off their schedules. Interviews with the media that were supposed to celebrate his life were either canceled or cut down. The only stories that could be seen were clean versions of his legacy, the story of the smiling hero, the strong voice, and the humble servant. There were whispers, though, below that smooth surface. The person who used to be in the choir said that Bishop Allen was about to release names and had already told some people who were working with him behind the scenes. There was a less well-known gospel artist who had just gone solo, an accountant who used to work for a gospel label, but quit in 2019. And, most shockingly, a young pastor who had just started a controversial online ministry that criticized the business side of gospel. It was said that all three of these people stopped talking after Allen died. The artist took down their Instagram, the accountant stopped using social media. And where was the pastor? In a mysterious last video, he said, "If they came for Rance, don't think they won't come for me." His YouTube channel was deleted without notice in early 2021. It's clear that after Allen died, something changed in the church community. It became clear that some church leaders were telling their followers to stay in prayer and not look for conspiracies. Others told people to respect our elders without getting into fights. But for many, this sounded more like an attempt to patch things up than a real honor. Even well-known people like Kirk Franklin, Marvin Sapp, and Donnie McClurkin, who have all publicly praised Allen, have not responded directly to the ideas. Some fans even asked if they had been told or were legally required not to speak out. Reddit threads and Facebook groups for fans have gotten bigger. In certain groups of people, words like gospel silence and who killed Rance have become popular. Vloggers who are not affiliated with Bishop Allen are still looking through his last talks for hidden messages and warnings. And perhaps most tellingly, a church documentary called Shadows Behind the Praise was quietly put on hold before it came out in 2024. Even though the trailer made it look like it would look into the TR